Another one person, another speaker of ours who believed and who dreamt without doubt is someone who is amongst us today. And his compassion and energy is once again exemplary. He founded the CEO's Club 40 years ago. He didn't imagine it to become the global phenomena that it is today. But even right now, when he brings this news, this initiative to Pakistan, you can see how energetic, how zealous, and how passionate he feels about it. Ladies and gentlemen, we've interacted with him in Karachi, found him to be a gem of a person, an energizer par excellence. And today, once again, we present to you the founder, the president of the CEO's Club Worldwide USA. Please put your hands together for Mr. Joseph Mancuso.
It's wonderful to be here, and I'm excited to see the group and the size. And I hope this is the beginning of a profitable exchange both ways, that you will come and visit chapters of the CEO Club, and that we'll be back often to do business, make money, and have fun. So let me start you for 1 minute at how I started in business. My father had one job, worked for the state. My brother and sister have had no business. I'm kind of an outlier in my family. I never really had a job. My father always wanted me to get a job, but I never could stand working for anyone. So when I left school, I was a partner in a small electronics company, and I had an electrical engineering degree and a Harvard Business School MBA and a doctorate from Boston University. And I was an investor in a small company where I made a lot of money at very early age, too young. So I had to figure out, what will I do for the rest of my life? And I decided to be a college professor. So for the next 5 years, I was a professor teaching marketing and entrepreneurship in Massachusetts, where I was an electrical engineering student. I really never had a vision of the CEO clubs until a group called YPO. How many here know the name YPO? Not many. Last night, or in Karachi, I sat next to Mr. B-A-I-G, Big. His son was just going to be training to be the president of YPO, which is my competitor. So I had dinner last night with the father of the son who will be my competitor. So what happened is YPO asked me to be a speaker for them, just as this gentleman was a motivational speaker. And I spoke for probably 5 or 10 cities, Wichita, Kansas, small cities. And I thought, this is a good business. What YPO does, I would like to do the same thing. In 1977, I left the university and I started the first CEO clubs. I went to Los Angeles, and in Los Angeles, I was in a room with about 150 people like this. And I told the group that I want to start a CEO club that will be like YPO, but have several differences. The first difference would be that I don't want to discriminate by age. YPO, to be a member, you must be under 40. It's very difficult to make a lot of money and be successful before you're 40 years old, unless you're a member of the Lucky Sperm Club and your mommy and daddy have a lot of money. And so YPO as a group has many children, like this man, Mr. Big's father, that I met. That's the standard format. So I started in Los Angeles, just myself, and I met 150 CEOs, and I said, take a chance with me for 1 year, just like Muhammad is saying to you, take a chance for 1 year. Give me $2,000 each. And 75 people gave me $2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. Lost the microphone. Okay, it's back. Before that, I should mention that while I was a teacher, I wrote 27 books. I wrote a book every 3 months, and several of my books became bestsellers. So the reason I could walk into a room and say, I want you to give me $2,000 for membership, 1977, was because they knew my name, not because they knew what I was saying was going to be a good deal for them. And so for the first 20 years, I worked only in the United States. San Francisco, Los Angeles, Boston, Washington, New York, Dallas, Chicago. And I opened CEO clubs in those cities. And I really had no vision of going overseas or doing anything. In fact, I never really got to the city of Seattle or to the city of Portland or to Denver to open clubs. And if I had not gone to China in the year 2000, I would probably still be just doing the CEO clubs in America. I don't know if you know, but this month is exactly 10 years since the very first one of these came out. 11 years ago, you did not carry an iPhone. So 10 years ago, Apple introduced Steve Jobs and the iPhone. I just want to remember that because it was about that time that Steve Jobs came back to Apple. And I would like to recommend you see the movie called Steve Jobs, featuring Ashton Kutcher and Josh Gad as Wozniak. If you see that movie, you'll find out that movie was made by several of my members in Dallas. They paid $20 million to make a movie about Steve Jobs' life. And JP and I wrote a book together about this movie. He spent $20 million to make the movie. And in the United States, the movie was a flop. So he worked for 2 years, lost $1 million. The movie was then brought to other countries, Pakistan, India, China. In China, the same movie that lost $1 million in the United States made $84 million in China. So I give you that as a story that just because you fall down in one city or one place, don't forget there are other places where you can succeed. Now, I want you to know this is my second trip to Pakistan. My first trip was my honeymoon. I spent 1 month in Pakistan, 1 month in India, 1 month in Bangladesh. I was hired by USAID to be a speaker. And they paid my way first class to do 4 cities in Pakistan, 4 cities in India, and then 4 cities in Bangladesh to improve the relation with the United States to those countries. They called it then the subcontinent. And my wife and I traveled together, and we called it our honeymoon because we were only married a few weeks, and then we left to go to Pakistan. And our first city was a little city in the north called Peshawar. Now, about that time, I had written probably 10 of the 27 books. Not all, but half. And I thought to myself, gee, they want me to do a seminar in Peshawar, Islamabad, Lahore, Karachi, everywhere. I said, while I'm doing the seminar, I'm already paid. Why don't I arrange to send some of my books to each seminar, and we will sell the books in the back of the room, make cash. So I had to figure out how many books should I send to each city. Well, I have 12 cities, 4 in Pakistan, 4 in India, 4 in Bangladesh. So I figured 200 books per city, about 2,400 books. It's a lot of books. But you can't ship from New York City, where I live, 2 feet of snow today. You can't ship a book to Pakistan. that the book costs $20, shipping costs $21. Every book you sell, you lose $1. So I had to figure out how we were going to make money. So I learned that Simon & Schuster has a facility in Singapore, and all my books were published by Simon & Schuster. So we made an arrangement with a trucker that he would pick up 2,400 books in Singapore and truck them to Peshawar. And then I would take the books from Peshawar by car to Islamabad, then to Lahore, and then to Karachi, but by car and plane. But I started in Peshawar with 2,400 books, and I worked in the audience about this size, about 150 people, and I worked for 6 hours. When I came out, I asked my wife, how did we do selling the books? She said, we sold out all the books in the back of the room, and everyone went to the truck, and they bought all 2,400 books in a little city called Peshawar. Now, remember, I was already paid, and that day in Peshawar, I worked very hard, 6 hours, 8 hours. The next day in Islamabad, I realized I don't have any more books. Maybe I only work 4 hours. And the next day, I figure I don't have any more books. I'm in Islamabad. I think maybe I work 2 hours. And by the time I got to Karachi, I would do 1 hour. By the time I got to India, forget the work, do 2 jokes, and go home. You're not going to sell any books. That's a true story, and it was when we had just been married 2 weeks. So we spent 4 weeks here, had the greatest time, made some great friends who then visited me in the United States. So today, the CEO clubs have all the American cities, dominant cities. So I say to you, if you want a contact in the United States, I know every CEO in America because I work with them one-to-one. If you want to see on my website or hear their talks of Donald Trump or Steve Forbes or Ted Turner or Boone Pickens or any of the high-profile CEOs, they're on my website. You could hear their talk for free. So if you want to make that contact, please see Mohammed. He'll contact me. And the same thing I say to you for China. If you want to make contact with a mayor, or party secretary, someone, JP has in his cell phone all the contact numbers. And third country where we have very strong presence is India. And right now we have 4 chapters in India. And we also have chapters in Korea, Japan, and we are opening in Spain in about 6 weeks. And with me on this trip are the 2 lovely ladies from South Africa who will be opening the South Africa chapter in the middle of August. Now, when you go to South Africa, because I have been there, there's an added treat. After we do business like this, we go for safari. I've been on 3 safaris. If you have not done safari, if you get involved with our club, there's 2 or 3 things will happen. 1, they will organize meetings like this where you'll get to hear high-profile speakers who will give you information that you would not have heard. 2nd, you will sit next to someone who you've never met. And enough time in a year, you will make new friends, maybe new business opportunities. And 2nd, we organize the groups into packs. We call wolf packs. 20 people in 1 pack. And those 20 people meet independently at each other's company to share ideas. And that pack system is really what I think separates America to make us the #1 economy, even twice as big as China, is that we have an infrastructure that helps people run their own companies. Not only that, the banks help, the schools help, but the PAC system, almost 80% of all American business belongs to somebody's PAC. our pack, YPO's pack, Vistage pack competitors. So you will be involved here in a pack, and Mohammed will arrange the first 20 in this pack, 20 in this pack. And if you have family, he will arrange so that the father is in this pack and the son is in this pack and the daughter is in this pack, so that you have a private group that you meet with to discuss ideas. And the third thing we do is trips. We arrange trips like the one that we're on right now. I've done 30 trips to China and brought roughly 1,000 CEOs from everywhere to come to China to do business. And about half have succeeded at doing business. So you get a feeling for the clubs and what we do. Now, the mission I set out with is making money, having fun, and learning. So before I end, because we're over time, I will play a little fun game with you, and I will ask a question, and then I have a reward. It's a silver dollar, lucky silver dollar. It's one of the presidents of the United States. There are 45 I have, so I pick 5. I don't know what the name is on this one. It won't be Trump because he's not finished. It won't be Obama because he's too soon, but 43 up till now. Trump is number 45. And by the way, I'm well aware that the Muslim community, not just here, but Saudi Arabia, UAE, everywhere, worries about Trump. I will only tell you that he comes to the CEO Club meetings. Very smart guy. The United States, we worry about him. My wife voted for Hillary. I voted for Trump. And so this is what happened, and we were 50-50, and Trump wins by a little bit. But since he's won, which is about 2 months, my stock market portfolio has gone up 50%. And I like him already very much because the market does not go up 50% by accident. So we play a little game. And I ask you the question, what is both necessary and sufficient to start your own business? What one element is necessary and sufficient to start your own business? And I need, here we go, right there. Go ahead. Up. Yeah, up. What's necessary and sufficient to start your own business? Passion? No. Sit down because you win $1. Every time you lose, then you get $1. Winner is so smart, he does not need a present. Only the loser. What's the right answer? Okay, here we go.
Personality.
An entrepreneurial personality.
Yeah.
You're surely
The person who is ready to take risk.
No, you're right. To start a business, you're going to win $1. Okay, one here. Wealth, money, will.
Yes. If you have a will to do something, then you can do something.
When you hear my idea,
Yeah.
you tell me if you like your idea better or mine, because I think I'm out of dollars.
Ideas can
I
be
run
different.
out of money very
That's no
quickly. I don't
It
have
means I'm right. I don't need dollar now.
Okay, so next time I see you, remember, I owe you $1 silver. Okay. The answer is, I won't make you all guess because we'll run out of time. But you think about this and you just decide yourself, what is the only ingredient you need to start a business? Go ahead, take one more shot. Yeah, take a shot.
I think you've got to lose it all to start all over again, and probably that's what's going to make it spark.
So the way to start a business is go broke.
Go broke.
And then what's the downside? Then you will start a business.
I think.
Tell me when you hear my idea if you like mine better than yours.
I'll hear yours.
The only ingredient both necessary and sufficient to start a business is a customer.
True.
Because when someone says, I'll buy that. And don't forget that. Next time you see Mancuso, I do the same story in every country and every city. And you remember, the only thing important is the customer. And if you have a customer, a business will start. So I won't take all your time, but I'd like you to take a chance with Mohammed, join the chapter, And then number 2, participate in the pack. It will change what you do. In the bigger shot, you think you're a big shot, you will learn more in the pack than any other way. In the United States, every city has packs. And China and India, they were going to show you a movie here, but we ran out of time about the packs in Hyderabad and what they feel about the value of what they do. So do that. And third, come with me in the next 2 months to Spain, and then come to Argentina. And if you're really smart, come to South Africa, to Joburg, and then we're going to see Victoria Falls and go for a 3-day safari. If you haven't done that, I've done it 3 times, you will find the most exciting thing I've done. So I will just say it's good to be back in Pakistan. It's good to have this opportunity to meet with you all. We are a resource for you. If you want to meet an American CEO, call me. You want to meet a Chinese CEO, call JP. If you want to meet an Indian CEO, call Hari. If you want to meet any of the different chapters we have, just contact us. We'll make the initial contact, no cost, and you try to do business and make fun, because we're all members of the same club. Thank you very much.